Brendan, a lot of talk about Matt O'Reilly yet again. Can you just bring us up to speed about where you're at with regards to a report of a bid from Atletico Madrid, please?
Yeah. Well, there was that, but Matt's obviously a player that we don't want to lose, and he won't be going anywhere in January. So no, I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Listen, I think it's a great testament to him and obviously what the club can do for a player. You know, he's made his first international cap, full international caps this season, and obviously a club like Atletico Madrid is a big club in European football. So, but no, he's very much a part of what we're doing. He's been a joy to work with, and had a good chat with Matt this morning, and it's he's someone that he'll be here for us for the second part of the season.
Yeah, I was just going to say, have you spoken to him, talking about rejecting that bid and making sure he's in the right mindset?
Yeah. Well, listen, it's one of the things that I've been really impressed with Matt is his mentality. You know, he's how he approaches his profession. You know, the professionalism, and also the obviously I think also the respect he has here for Celtic. We obviously had an opportunity in the summer, but he's very happy to extend here and be here, which is great. And obviously, you know, Atletico Madrid is a huge club, and but he also knows he's in a great place here. He's really kicked on this season in his progression, and he wants to continue with that. So, and for us, as I said, we've got no want to sell, we've got no need to, and he'll be here for the second part of the season.
Do you expect more bids, regardless of whether they would be welcomed or not, just given how well he's playing?
I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter. He's not someone we want to sell.
Looking at the economics of Scottish football as well, obviously you want to win the league from a football point of view, but there's riches if you keep your best players by getting into the Champions League too, so it would have to take something special to prize any of your players away, I take it.
Well, they won't be gone. It's as simple as that. January's a month which is a difficult month anyway, whether it's bringing players in or looking to sell players, but it's not something that we want to do, and as I said, it's understandable the question, but not we've got no interest in that.
Brendan, do you think it would be a real statement from the club if, as you say, rejecting bids from Matt, he's not for sale this month? Do you think that sends out a real message?
Well, listen, I think that firstly you have a value of the player, and certainly what has come in for Matt in the time I've been here is nowhere near the valuation and of the quality of player that he is. But like I said, even if it was, we're in a position where we don't want to sell. But I think it's great. It shows you that players are developing, which is what you want. And when you have a club of the European calibre of Atletico Madrid coming in for one of your players, then it shows you that so the players are doing something right.
Yeah, and how much confidence does that give you as well, that you know you're going to have Matt here for the second part of the season? He's been one of your standout players first part of the campaign. You know that he's going to help you really push on in the league and the Scottish Cup as well.
Yeah, it's just, as I said, I enjoy working with players. It's a big part of my philosophy, developing players, working with them, and having that joy and seeing them improve. So to have him here, and I know that he'll continually get better. He's on 10 goals plus on numerous numbers of assists for this season, and I expect that to grow even more in the second part of the season.
Are you any closer to any more incomings, Brendan?
Not at this moment. There's work going on behind the scenes, of course. It's, but yeah, listen, it's not easy when you're trying to get players in, and I've talked about quality before, and I always will do, because that's the nature of what I want to build here. We have a lot of quality players in our squad currently that are improving and developing, and I want to add more to that. But when you're trying to get quality and when you're trying to add, it's never easy, because other clubs, they don't want to lose quality players. So, but it's something that, as I said, is continually been worked on, and I hope before the window shuts that we're able to do that.
Do you have that confidence that you might be able to get 1 or 2 over? Are you preparing yourself for this is what you may be dealing with till the end of the season?
Yeah, no, both. I think I'm prepared for hopefully being able to bring some players in to add to the squad. But like I said, on the same token, it's how I work. My faith and trust in to develop players, and the players that are here is very much there, and that's what I'll also look forward to. I understand the need for progression. I understand 100% what the team needs in order to improve. So like I said, I don't want to be in a rush to just bring in a player. It always has to be the right player. And also, I'm conscious here. I want to be here for a period of time, as long as, of course, I'm successful. So I want to also create an opportunity for young players to come through here. You know, everyone talks about signings and bringing people in, and I always say you might have someone within your academy, but you need to have the space for those players to flourish and develop. So yeah, I hope that we can add to the group. I'd be confident that we can, but also on the same token, I'm someone who wants to develop the talents that are here and continually grow them.
Is that a similar situation with those outgoings? I know you mentioned that the squad felt a little bit bloated. You've managed to move 1 or 2 on loans. Is that the similar frustration that that may be tricky to get others out at this period of January as well?
Yeah, it's not frustration. It's life as a football manager and a football club. You know, I think that we know what the work we need to do, and we know that we won't probably do it all in this window because it is a process. So, but that will happen, and we'll get to that point eventually.
Just looking ahead to the weekend, Callum, Carter Vickers and Nicholas Kuhn, are they close to?
Yeah, they'll be involved. Good week's training, and great to see Cam back again, and so he'll be involved. Yeah.
Obviously, Mike Nawrocki's come in and done well. Is that due to have these kind of big decisions to make at the back as well, the centre defenders? Yeah,
Mike's done very well. I think Scalesy's been outstanding since he's come into the team and really grown and developed and been our most consistent performer. Along with 1 or 2 of our other players that have been constantly in the team. Centre half, of course, we've had injuries based around Cam and Mike and Welshie, so that's made it difficult sometimes to have that partnership there. But having Cam back, he's a fantastic player, but also Mike, is great to see him come to the fore, and it's exactly what we thought when we were bringing him in at the beginning. He was in to challenge Cam and Karl Starfelt. That was the plan. So he sadly was injured for a long period, but he's coming back, and he's shown in the games that he's going to be there to compete, and that's what having a top squad is. It's not about just having starters. You want players that are there to compete with the starters.
It's actually about Ross County. Obviously, they're under new management. Derek Adams he had a good start with a few good results, and he's been a bit frustrated recently with some of the results, performances. He's expressed that frustration as well. Is that something you can maybe take advantage of, aside maybe lacking a wee bit of confidence at all?
No, I think for us, listen, we always respect whatever point and feeling there is in the opposition team. It's irrelevant to us. We have to play to the level that we want to, and that's what we'd focused on, and I think that now we're starting to see that sort of consistency of mentality and quality in the team, and we'll look to continue with that. We know that every opponent will always be a challenge for us. Derek will come and he'll organise his team well, and they'll be competitive, but for us, we need to bring the game to the level that we want to, and from what I've seen in the players this week, the tempo and intensity is just really a continuation of what it's been over the last period of time, and we'll look to bring that to the game Saturday.
You come to a point in the season where, as Liam was just discussing previously, about games coming maybe once a week rather than once every 3 or 4 days. Just how much beneficial is that to you in implementing what you want to happen in this second part, having that time with the squad during the week?
Well, clearly, I think when you have that coaching time, it's invaluable. Really, you go through the first part of the season where, apart from pre-season, you don't spent a lot of that time. But it's still important that we use it wisely, because you can overcoach players as well and overtrain. So for me, it's always about the balance. I've got a brilliant coaching staff here that set up the training, and we work very, very well. And for us, it's just that, obviously bedding in new players, you get young players as well. So it's just about that continuation of building on the structure of the team, reinforcing a lot of the areas that we want to, and obviously some remedial work. Obviously, every game there's always ideas that you can be better at and learn from. So having the time to coach that is really beneficial.
On that note, we found out this week there'll be no winter break next season. Was that a disappointment, or was it just reality of the increasingly hectic schedule for games?
Yeah, I think it's both. It's both of what you said. It's disappointing. We'll have to find periods within the season then to recover the players, and because, as I said, they're not robots. But we see in the modern football that there's so much more being asked of players, especially the top players. You know, you think of guys like Callum and the others that have international football. So yes, that's something that we need to be mindful of. Obviously, the season starts earlier as well. You know, so it's so we have to keep an eye on the physicality of the players. But definitely, from my time's been up here the first time, and now the winter break has worked really, really well. So we'll adapt and take that on board next season.
I think Callum has benefited. I think he started every game last year for Celtic, which was an incredible record. Has he benefited from that break? Do you have to kind of think ahead? Any time you can get Callum a rest, basically. Yeah,
it's for freshness and physicality. He's an incredible professional, and just to be back here now in this second time and seeing him in this phase of his career. You know, when I came here first, he was maybe 23, something like that. It was absolutely brilliant for me back then. But to see now the maturity of him as a captain, and seeing the influence he has. But his professionalism is second to none. He really, really is a top operator and a top performer. But I need to also look after him, because it's going to be a bit longevity for him. So I think his numbers that he's produced over the last numbers of years has been absolutely incredible. Up there with anyone in European football. But from time to time, where you can give him that time to recover and refresh, then hopefully you get the benefits later.